was a year or so ago at the book launch of Tony Blackburn, and we talked about the business, and we were sat there miserable. We were both working in commercial radio, and look at us now. We're back at the Beeb. How are you, love?
Very well, thanks, Alex.
Hey, Tony, nice to talk to you. How's
nice
it going?
To talk to you as well.
Back at Radio 2, doing the big show on a Saturday afternoon. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I'm absolutely delighted. You know, I was offered it about, it must be about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I thought about it for about 2 seconds and said, yes, please, because it's just a wonderful show. It's rather like Radio 2's answer to the Archers, isn't it? It's gone on for a long time. Fluff Freeman, of course, who was a great friend of mine, he did it, and if I can do it as half as well as him, then I'll be very happy.
It's really interesting because the last time we met was at that book launch, and commercial radio is in such a horrible, horrible place, and we were both holding on for grim death. I don't know how you feel, but really, the only place to do personality radio now is at the BBC. There's nothing left, is there?
Well, it's you're quite right. It's very, very difficult. I'm lucky. I do work in commercial radio still, and I have my own programs. I'm allowed to choose my own music, but I know exactly what you mean. You know, 3 in a row and a time check is not exactly the sort of radio I want to listen to, and the same 300 records over and over again. And this is where they get it wrong. I mean, yeah, I love the BBC. I will always love the BBC, and to be back on national radio at the BBC for me is just an absolute joy. And doing this particular program, because of course, Pick of the Pops, all these records that I'm playing now, they're all records I played as new releases.
So actually, you're just doing the same shows from 50 years ago.
Exactly. Well, somebody on Digital Spy, you know the Digital Spy, there are people there that have got the chart that I did last week. Actually, as I did it on Radio 1 40 or whatever it was years ago. It's unbelievable. And I tried to download it this morning, and I couldn't do it because there was some fault with something or other. But I'm going to try and get it because it's just funny. It's a great program, and it's very strange when I'm doing it. And I've only done now that one. I do it as live in January the 29th, which incidentally, Alex, is my birthday. And if you'd like to send me a card, it would be great with quite a substantial present. That would be nice. I'm doing it absolutely 100% live as from January, but we can get in the studios then and do it.
Will that mean you can have a bit of mucking about with the listeners?
Well, that is going to be tricky because it's such a tight program to do, and I'm playing more records now on Pick of the Pops, I don't know if anybody's noticed, than ever before, and we are putting an extra 1 or 2 records in, so it is very difficult. It's very tight for time, and a chart show is very, very difficult to do, more difficult to do actually than an ordinary show, and particularly that rundown music there, I had to take that home and practice it, and that was quite a challenge, but I've got it now. It's like riding a bike.
Have you got a pen and paper?
You're not going to try me out on it.
Yeah, all right. So let's do a chart from today. So we've got Mama Cass at number 10.
Oh, I can't because I haven't got the chart in front of me.
Well, it doesn't matter. Let's just write it down. Let's just make anything up. Mama Cass, Robbie Williams.
Well, I tell you what, I could say, hi, it's Tony Blackburn here with Pick of the Pops.
All right, here we go then.
Hi there, good afternoon. Welcome along, Tony Blackburn with Pick of the Pops.
You got your timing right then. Lovely.
Yeah, but you're not using the exact version we use.
Oh, have I got the wrong one?
Well, no, it's very good, but it's slightly different to the one that we use.
Okay, well, I'll forgive
you
in this
case. Only a little different, but it's very good. And I can say I've been talking to a lot of BBC stations today, and congratulations, because you're the only person that's taken the trouble to get that bit of music.
Right, listen, I've got to talk to you about this, and I know we're going to get kicked off the air with it, but aren't most radio DJs morons?
Come on.
No, they are. They don't think. They turn up and they read sheets. And I was at a radio station called Capital Gold, and I did their late show for about a year, and they're all fossils, and they haven't come back. And I want to talk to you about this, because was there a point when you worried you'd be one of them, that suddenly you were just the old guy, you might have been the first guy on Radio 1 and all this, that, and the other thing, but nobody cared anymore?
I've never thought that. I don't think so. No, I've always kept up to date with modern day music and stuff like that. And no, I wouldn't quite agree with you there, Alex. To be honest with you, no, I can't say that. I don't think DJs are morons at all. I mean, there are 1 or 2 that haven't got a lot to say, but that's not necessarily their fault. That is sometimes the people that they're working for. And I've found the only thing over the years is that it's difficult sometimes to come on the air and be yourself, because sometimes they want you just basically merely to talk for 2 seconds and then introduce a record. And I like personality radio, and that's what I'm about. And I've been very lucky in being in places where it is personality, I do love it. I love it very, very much indeed. And to be invited on BBC Radio 2, it took 30 years to get on Radio 2, but I never thought they would invite me onto the station, but I'm just delighted because it's sort of done a circle, really, because being on national radio on Radio 1 and then going to local radio, which I love, incidentally, I absolutely love it. I'm still on BBC London, here in London. I love local radio, but to be on a national station like Radio 2, which is a tremendous station, and be amongst all those great broadcasters for me is an absolute thrill.
And of course, at the top of their game at the minute, we had Chris Evans on Friday, and like he said, to be in a place where you can say anything and you get 10,000 texts is a wonderful thing. Your power is remarkable.
And also another thing, I've had a best friend called Phil Swern for 46 years. We've known one another for 46 years. We go out to dinner together. We've just been great friends. Never had an argument in our life. And he is actually the producer on Pick of the Pops. And so it's a dream come true. I've got the best show. I've got this wonderful show to do, and I've got my best friend producing it. And that is just tremendous, and being on BBC Radio 2, of course, as well.
Tony, in our last minute together, I need to ask you an honest question, because I keep mucking about.
Yes, I do love you, Alex.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. I have a voice that's like a chain coming off a motorbike. How do I sound like a proper DJ like you, with a proper voice and proper inflection on the right emphasis and all of that stuff? I can't do it.
What are you talking about? You've got a very good voice.
Yeah, but you've got a proper radio voice. I just sound like the bloke on the street.
Well, that's all right. What's wrong with that?
When did you?
You don't have to sound plummy and, sort of like me.
No, you're not plummy.
You don't have to sound like a moron like me.
No, you're not a moron. Come on. And do you know what moron means?
Do, mate.
Do you know what moron means in the dictionary? Have you ever looked it up?
No idea.
Someone of bovine intelligence.
Oh, really? No, you sound fine.
Thank you.
Don't try and be somebody you're not. That's my advice.
All right, coming up next is Pixie Lot Mama Do. I'm going to play the bed. We're going to say goodbye. And could you do, hi, welcome to Pick of the Pops. And here's Pixie Lot Mama Do. Could you do that for me? Here we go.
I'll say Pixie Lot, yeah. Hello, Tony Blackburn here with Pick of the Pops, and right now, here's Pixie Lot.
Alex Belfield.